Hello guys, and welcome back to the channel. So, I have been out and meeting up with a friend today, and then I came home, did some work, and now I'm currently making cards. And I haven't put in a video up for the last 12 days, something like that, so I should probably film a thing and put it up tonight. I know the last video was cards, and I should probably have done diamond painting, but this is the state of my room right now. One giant mess. And I'm currently making 3D cards. So I have, if you haven't been keeping up with the vlogs of this, sorry for the shaking, on this channel, I have about 14 banana boxes and smaller boxes with cards that needs to be made by the end of this year. On top of that, I still have trees that needs to be cut and matched up and put together with cardstock, and then papers and finished put together with pillows. So my calculation is these 14 boxes I have here with cards that is matched up should be done by June, August, September, by the end of September. That's my goal. That means I need to do 400 this month, 400 and something. And the rest of the time I need to do 2 banana boxes each month. However, most of these banana boxes, the treaties are not cut. In all of the 4 boxes I'm doing right now in this month, the treaties are cut. Some has even been put together. So if it's cut, it looks like this. If it has been put together, it will look something like that. Already put together. So that's what I need to do this month. And because it's already cut and some of them are put together, it makes it a lot easier for me, because half of the work is cutting the 3D. The other half is putting everything together. So let me show you how I mass produce the same 3D in one go. Just something I want to show you guys. And this is something you can adapt to technically anything you're doing. If you have the same style or something, that you can mass produce the same thing. So let me flip you guys down, and then let's see how we can do this. Sorry for the shaking. And I can't flip you farther down than that, so you will have to work with that. So let's do the crab or the cancer, which this is. This is the cancer, I believe. Yes, it is. Okay, so I have 4, just to make it simple. And what I'm going to do is that, first of all, I'm gonna pull all of this out on all of them. Come on. And if it has a piece of paper, I'm gonna pull that out too. Then I'm gonna put this envelope away. And I have a video running in the background, so sorry. And I'm gonna dump this off on his head. Come on. And I know this stack is for 1 card. And I have another card underneath. just check these. These are supposed to be the right size, but not all of them are. So what I'm gonna measure is, and they're just a tad too big. So I need to trim those down. Just a teeny tiny bit. But that's what happens when you mass produce. You'll have to double check everything. Before you do anything. Okay. So I know these ones are too big and I need a little trim. Simply gonna make sure they are the same row, the same way. And I'm gonna just confirm this is the top button. It is. So it's just one side. Just have my trimmer right here. Make sure I don't destroy anything. Just trim a tiny bit off. That's all I need. And of course it's gonna be a problem. That's better. For some reason it just don't want to cut. And that's just how it happens sometimes. It's gonna give me some problems like that. And that's usually when I cut too many pieces of paper at the same time. But that should still make it, yeah, that would be fine. Okay. It's not perfect, but it is fine. So what I do now is I take one of that and one of this. Make sure you do it on the right side and not the wrong one. Done. And then you need to, where are those? It's the, you need this. Here's the thing, you could do this at the same time you're putting the 3D together. But what I find sometimes it's hard to put this one at the right angle. So by putting it on before you put the 3D part on top, it makes it easier to adjust it. But every single time you have to pull this one up and there's a 3D on top, you bend and destroy the 3D on top. That's my experience. Okay, try to center it as much as you can. Like that. We can do that. Then I just have to redo all of this. And why do I use different glue for this one and the back side of this one? Well, simply just because I can. I have one of those left, and I find it easier sometimes to use that other times I'll just take a strip of this and put it in. But I'm trying to save this for the 3D themselves, because I actually don't have that much. I have to be on the lookout for these packages where I can get these in with that roller. Usually you can find them to 10 or 15 or something like that in the stores. And by the way, the package to the giveaway winner has already been sent out. So I thank you everyone for being a part of the giveaway. And for everyone to be a subscriber. That's really, really nice of you guys. I do appreciate it. And if you're wondering when I'm gonna do my next giveaway, I do not know. Where I had to send this package, it was about 500 Danish kroner to send the package. So that's expensive. Well, it's not something I do often, because that's not the amount of money I usually have laying around. I was lucky I had it here this time. Last one. Okay. Almost there, guys. This is usually what I do when I do this. I will have an audiobook or something, some kind of music running in the background and listen to it, or a podcast or a live show or something like that from YouTube or somewhere else, or a TV series that I'm currently watching. There's a lot of things I could watch or listen to for that matter. And then I would simply be having that running in the background when I'm working, and I usually work a lot faster by then. And when I'm, by the way, when I'm done with about a half hour to 45 minutes, I have to get up. I can actually already feel it now. My back is hurting like crazy. My lower back, just by sitting down. So I technically need to stand up and walk around a little bit, so that keeps hindering me in actually doing some decent work all the time too. But that's okay. I'm gonna figure it out every single time. So for this we have 4, so I would like to separate this board up into 4 sections. So this is how I do it. Come on. That way I know where exactly to put things. And which 3D piece to use. Come on. Come on. Okay. So let's find some 3D pillows. I think those are good. So what I usually do with the, when I do it like this, I'll try to see if I can match them up so they're about the same place. So I know the borders, how many the borders needs. They will not be totally the same, but it will help balancing everything out. Also make sure I don't use too many too many pillows or foam pieces or whatever you want to call these. That should be good. I need one there, one there, one there. Oh, that's the thing with having cats. There are cat hair everywhere. I'm gonna put 2 on that claw, 1 on that, 2 on that, 3 on that. That should be a good space out. Then you just have to repeat the process to all of them. Stop it, stomach. You're already eaten. Oh. if you've got problems doing this and you got problems with figuring out where to put them, you can do it like this. You do 1 figurines of each, just if that makes it more simple for you, so you're sure you do anything right. Okay, big claw, big claw. Snout, snout, fish, fish. It's 4 on. And I know you can't see what's going on down here, but technically the same thing as I'm doing up here. I just can't push the camera farther back. So it's 1 there, 1 there, 3. One, tap. The last 3. Oh, sorry. That. Run. And now it's time to find your 3D. And simply put them together. So you have 2 choices here. You can do 1 totally finished now, or you can put all the 3Ds on and then do the peel-offs. Just because it's something is simpler than that. That way you only need to have 1 thing out on the table. Specifically when you don't have too much space. I actually pulled over my tablet because I had to do some sketching for my painting. I need to figure out where I was going to put something on the painting, and I haven't gotten around to do that. I've actually today been down and eating lunch with a lady, an old guest from my old work. Seemed to hit out and match good together. Same experience, all that kind of stuff, and she gets me and I get her. So yeah, we get along well, very, very well. Okay, so now try to line up everything I usually go for something in the bottom or some of the corner. Claw, claw, side, corner. And then everything else should line up unless the 3D was printed out wrong. Sometimes they are that, and then you have to be fickly with it. Come on. And if you think these pillows, foam pieces here, it's irritating to watch me peel off, try those I did earlier today. I had to recut every single one of them in the order to actually use them. And you know what? I bet that's not the only sheet that's like that. I like those where it's easier to get them off. The papers off the pillowcases, or the pillows, or foam pieces, or whatever you want to call them. So yeah. Line it up. Don't push down, just line it up. Stop it, stomach. You already ate. Sometimes I will decide if I need a last piece of 3D on it. Like sometimes I would take a claw off or something else off because it does not fit in with the entire theme. That it has that single thing pop more off. In this case it does. But I had animal thing at a point where the snout of the cat, where it's itself a piece of cutout. Now just, nope, that do not fit in. And no matter how I put it, it just won't sit the right way. It will be crooked, and I'm sick and tired looking at it, so I decided not to put it on. And I have 3Ds from books that has literally 10 to 12 layers of 3D, and this is a layer. So this is a layer which will go with number 2, which will be that one on this one. That one will go with the first one. So each layer you will have to put on. And 12 layers, I did one with a, I didn't do some of the first one, with a half a centimeter of foam in between. And it was just thick, it was thick like this. And I'm just, that's not gonna work. So I cut some of the layers away and got it down a little bit, but still it were a lot. So let me just do this one now, just because it's fast. And what I mean with cutting the other one down, this is what I had to cut it down to. Small strips where I can roll it off. That's what I had to do. Frustrating, I can tell you that much. So with these ones, I kind of kept them neutral. I don't want anything that makes it stand out. I just want a simple border around. So I keep the same border and the same corners on all of them. That's why I would like to make these 3Ds before I make anything else. Because I actually don't know if I can get these 3Ds ever again. Well, not 3Ds, peel-offs. I do have one set that's a little bit different. And it's on a green card. Those are all on gold with gold borders instead, because it just looks better. Silver doesn't look good on that. That's the only one that has a gold border, but still the same corners, the same borders, everything. It's just the color that changed and nothing else. And of course the green cardstock and all that kind of stuff. So, but I can show you one here in a second. And I know from experience that these ones need 2 of these border lines in order to finish up a card. And when you have these kind of borders, you have to be aware of which way you're going, because some of them look wrong if you turn them half around. So you need to go the same way as you started. So I started from down here. Come on. And I'm going this way. That means I need to turn it. So the curves go the same way. This one, because it do have curves both directions, but one is a little bit more sharper than the other one. And one that goes inwards is a lot more soft in the curve than the one that go outwards. Kind of like a scallop edge. And then the card is done. I need to put it into a bag and seal it up. Then it needs a pricing, but I don't have any of those ready. Let me just grab one of the other ones. Oh, my back hurts. There's some of the other ones I've been making. Here's one of those. A little bit better. It's not a style, and it's with a gold border. And that was helping on my back just to get up for a second. I don't know why, but it is. It just helps for a second to get up. So as I said, sometimes I'll just put the 3Ds on and then go and grab the peel-offs and then do all the peel-offs. It totally depends on what mood I'm in. Right now, because of the time, we are at only 35 minutes. Thought we were a lot further. So you can find, if you ever do something like this, you can find your own style of doing things in, or your own system for that matter. When I do flower punching and that kind of stuff with punch and dies and that kind of stuff, I mass produce also. I have a list of colors I need and style I need for different cards. And if I see I have some backup paper of something or leftover papers or something specific, I might just go on a whim and pick something out and make it with, and just have it for a coming up project. And I might already have, when I see the piece of paper, an idea in my mind that, you know what, that pattern will go well with that. Oh, I thought I heard something outside. Something will go good with some kind of background paper I may have or something like that. So my mind is always going like that if I see something. Like today when I was down at that lady's place, she was showing me pictures of her family, and I was just, you know what? I have pictures of my mom and dad sitting just like those are, in the same kind of style, with a window separating them, 2 windows and a wall, and then sitting on each side with each window behind them. I have a pictures just like that, and he's having the same style of glasses that my father has, and there was just funny things I noticed, including background wallpaper. And you may think, that's crazy, what does background wallpaper have to do with anything? That's how my mind works, my creative mind. Because when I saw some striped wallpaper, I immediately thought about those wallpaper books I have upstairs that I haven't done anything with yet. But I still have them. So yeah. Oh, wrong way. And then I saw the pattern. I was just, wait a minute, I got those flowers. I can do that with it, and I can do that with it. I can do that. Oh, I literally had to stop myself. Otherwise, I would be totally distracted the rest of the time I was down there. And that was not the point. And this is a good example on what happens when you are not aware of your surroundings. See, now I got it down the wrong way, and it took off the foam pieces. Now I had to readjust, reattach, and try not to do the same mistake again. And I almost did it again. Something is off with this one. There we go. Much better. And I managed not to break it. Sometime I will break it, unfortunately. So back to those books. I got those books because I thought they would be fun to use for some cards. Because I did do cards back in the days with wallpaper. Back in the days. So I thought that would be fun to do again. So. But it was simply just the wallpaper in the back of the pictures, and it just made me think about that. And I couldn't. That's just how my mind goes. I can't stop. The only time my mind stops thinking is when I'm watching a TV series or a show or something. That's why I usually went to the cinema back in the days, because it forced me to relax. And turn off my phone, so people couldn't contact me and ask if I want to go and feed the horses or something like that. I never forget that I went down to a movie shop where you can rent movies, and I was deciding which movie I was going to do, and then my boss came in and said, "Hey, you That's nice to see you. Can you go out and feed the horses? Sorry, but wasn't you supposed to do that? I know, but me and my wife is going to the movies, going to watch movies, so can you do it, please? And yeah, I couldn't exactly say no. It's frustrating, I know, but I also realized back later then actually my teacher, my old teacher, told me he is using you and I'm gonna help you find another job because you are being burned out. And that was true. I did not do more than 2 years there. And within a year, actually a half year, I was his right hand man or woman in that stable. I had almost as much what is it called? Responsibility as he has, almost. I did not have contact with most of the owners and that kind of stuff. But the owners knew I took care of the animals. They also knew there were a few people that had their favorite horses they want to take care of, and they probably knew more about the individual horses, but if it was about feeding or anything, it was usually me, because I was the one that was doing most of the feeding and taking care of everything. When no one else wanted to show up to work, I was standing alone with almost 80 horses on my own I had to take care of. 80 horses, some of them costing a couple of $1 million, couple of Danish millions kroner. Yeah, that was my responsibility. Small Ferraris, let them say it like that. That was my responsibility. Will I ever work with horses again? Probably. But it depends in what way. For me to work with horses again, I will need to lose at least 90 kilos. 80 to 90 kilos at least, in the order to get down where my body can handle working that kind of hard work again. Will I ever work a cleaning job again? Unless again I lose a lot of kilos, I won't. I need to lose a lot of weight. I can see one of the people I'm following currently are doing that Playtone or whatever it is called for weight loss, the same thing that diabetic people are getting. And my doctor actually suggested that. But it sounds like this guy is having problems with his stomach and he's not doing it anymore. He's getting his last doses now and then he's not doing anymore. And by the way, in Denmark that thing cost over 1,000 Danish kroner just for one doses. One doses. I sometimes have to look for the words. I can't find them. One doses is about 1,000 or something Danish kroner. So yeah. Did I just... Don't tell me I just... Oh, I did not. Now you see what I mean. I did not pay attention. Now I'm paying the price. Please don't destroy it, Anne-Marie. Please don't. Okay. Can you see what I mean when I'm not concentrating? That should have been on this one. And now it's so bent that I'm not sure I can put it down correctly. That was my own fault. I shouldn't have been talking. Okay. I think the mate has saved it. I'm gonna do it like that. Excuse me. So, what was I talking about? Oh, yeah, that potential thingy. So I'm definitely not gonna be doing that. And on top of that, I know how my body normally reacts when I get even a B vitamin thing in me. It at the nurse's office. It's not a good thing. So I would just have to figure it out the old way. Let's not do the same mistake again. There. And if you're thinking, Henry, do you ever take out and do cards with other people? I have done that. Back in the day, I used to drive to Aalborg to go to a card making thing. But another person up there destroyed that one for me by being a bully. And the other ones that were there did agree that the person was stepping over the line, but they didn't want to step in and telling the person at the time that they were being rude. And I did try to tell the person that they were being rude, but they did not want to listen. So I simply ended up stopping coming. I know there are people that are missing me. But I'm simply not gonna waste my time with that kind of stuff. And slowly the group kind of fall out and didn't exist anymore. It's kind of past. The group is kind of gone. So yeah, it was a Yahoo group back in the day. Back in the day, Yahoo, you could make email groups you could be a part of. And that's what it was. And I have been in, we call it court tough, or cards gatherings or whatever you want to call it in English. And I have been in a couple down in the south of Denmark. I had to drive for 2.5 hours to get there. Was so exhausted I barely got anything done down there, and then I had to drive back home again, and they were very, very impressed with me actually driving down there. But I stick to going to Aalborg once or twice a month, and in the end I didn't go at all, just because of a stupid person. That likes to ruin people's lives to make her feel better herself. Simple as that. People wanted me to take the creative things I had for sale with me up there, so I could sell some of it up there. And it actually turns out that whenever they were missing something, they just go in and find something and buy it very, very, very cheap, which were a good thing. But again, because that lady destroyed that entire thing, that's no longer an option. Oh, my nose. So what do I do now? Do I do anything like that? Yes, I sometimes meet up with Laura and we made creative stuff together. But now when we technically work together 3 times a week, we don't do it anymore. We don't meet up in our free time. We kind of each has more than enough stuff to do. So that's our creative time 3 times a week, which also pays as our work. So we take 2 flies with 1 dash, or smack, or whatever you want to call it. Almost an hour. Yep. So we are at 54.5 minutes currently. So we see if we can do this within the hour. Get this done within the hour. That would be nice. Then you guys got a nice little video. And I can give myself a couple of days to catch up on things. I have to go to work on Friday instead of Thursday. So it's gonna be a short weekend for me. Usually I have Friday off. Come on. Not this week. But I can live with that. It's gonna rain on Sunday anyway. And I don't have much to do. Except for making cards and being creative. Okay. Come on. You do understand, if I hit these 4 cards finished within about an hour mark on the time, that means I spent about 15 minutes per card. And then take that I need to make at least 20 cards a day. You can do the math. That's 5 hours a day I need to sit and make cards. And that's without breaks or anything. Oh, come on. And that's just not possible for me because my back already hurts from doing this. And on top of that, we did use a couple of minutes to talk in the beginning of this video, so still have a couple of more extra minutes to spare in case it go past. Which it will. It's a 29. Ah! It will go past. But we are almost there. Almost. Let go of me. Last one, guys. I could be silly and say, can we get a ArtMoney's grades in the comments or something like that? But don't worry, I won't ask you to do that. It was just a thought I had, but I'm not that type of person. As a matter of fact, I had a fun comment, a fun thing happen today. I had someone call me It went straight to voicemail. And on the voicemail it said, "Hello, is this Anne-Marie? I love you," and then they hang up. I don't know who it were. I was one of you followers. But please do not use my phone number if it is one of you guys. I have so many scammers calling me at every single day. I do not want to hear it. Thank you, but no thank you. I'm not trying to be rude. And we are done! Yay! Time is 2.5 minutes past 1 hour. Which is fine. Because we did have few minutes we were talking in the beginning, and I showed you the box with the cards that was already made. So a little bit, we're still under the 2 hours, so that's good. With this, thank you for watching. Please hit the subscribe button or bell notification and throw that like, and I will see you guys on the next one. Bye!